What is something you totally regret getting addicted to? Before we start with the first story, please hit subscribe and ring the notification bell to stay updated with us. Story 1. Smoking. Just don't start, people. It's not worth it. Never a truer statement. I smoked for 40 years. Last year on my birthday, I woke up coughing and said no more. I haven't had one since. I don't just start coughing for no reason anymore. I feel better. I smell better. Food tastes better. Took me 6 months to get my wife to quit. As a reward to ourselves, we had our carpet replaced, had the entire house painted inside, and got new furniture. We are so much happier and healthy now, and our house smells nice now. As someone who frequently craves a cigar to chill out, I have to remind myself of how quickly a craving can turn into an addiction. My respect to those who have managed to kick the habit, and strength to those who are trying to kick it. Story 2. Food is comfort. Try getting really excited about food as nutrition. Growing your own fruits or vegetables and making your food from scratch can really change your mindset with regard to food as comfort. Making fresh bread is such a mood booster, and the no-need options are super easy. If you start to think of food as being fuel and energy and something kind you can do for your body, your mindset really does change. I still am super excited about food, but in a different way. My garden really makes me see how special food can be, and homegrown tomatoes are the best tasting thing ever. With higher quality food, you just feel so much better. Story 3. Vaping. It's always in my hand now. I just got off the nicotine by buying another vape with zero nicotine. Keep the nicotine one just a bit out of the way, like in the car, and abuse the shit out of the zero nicotine vape. It let me separate the nicotine addiction from the need to have and use the vape. Divide and conquer. It's been 2 weeks, and for the first time in years, I have a fighting chance. Story 4. Gaming. Never even realized I was addicted until nerve damage forced me to quit. Changed my entire perception of time and life in general, and my mental health has never been better. It's the sense of accomplishment, no matter how false. It can replace whatever, distract you from whatever. Take your mind off whatever. Replace anxiety of the real world with comfort from another. Bad day? Go win some games or meet your personal gaming goals no matter how low. Drunk gaming? Everything is fine but extra funny. Suck at your game that day. No consequence unless you are an uptight, toxic gamer. Story 5. TikTok. It doesn't just ruin your attention span where consuming media is concerned. It affects your attention span in every single aspect of your life, including your ability to learn new stuff where theory-written info is concerned. Sadly though, it's too addicting, so I really don't want to stop using it, even though I want to, if that makes sense. Also, pretty much every single trend there takes root on TikTok. And all your interests are on there too, so it's so hard to not pick up my phone and open TikTok every chance I get. Also, I might be ranting a little bit. Story 6. I spent most weekends from ages 5 to 14 at the casino daycare playground with my sister while our parents gambled. They would leave us there from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. with $20 each, and we were always the last to leave. This made me hate casinos, and I swore I'd never go as an adult. But when I turned 21, I decided to see what my parents saw in it. I won $2,000 after putting $100 into a penny slot and got hooked. Now, at 23, I've lost over $13,000 and can't stop going. My parents were gambling addicts, and now I'm afraid I am too. Story 7. Definitely carts. I know you can't get physically addicted to weed, but once you do it, and once you get high, you want to do it again because it feels good. I used to always hit mine every day, and when a day went by that I didn't hit it, I would feel much more anxious and not knowing what to do to occupy myself. I always wanted to get high every night. This went on for almost a year. That also makes you insanely lazy and unproductive. Fortunately, I'm not like that anymore, and I'm doing much better. I still occasionally smoke, but nowhere near as much. I recommend sticking to real buds. Story 8. Hydrocodone. I tried it for the first time to ease the pain from a toothache I had. It was like my mind and soul were wrapped in a warm blanket. My typically clouded mins was now empty, my worries gone. It was bliss. But then I tried another, and another. Then one pill at a time became 2. Then it was 2 in the morning and 2 at night. Then I was slipping 1 at work on a hard day. I can see how it ruins lives. Someone somewhere created one of the single most addicting pills known to man, and I almost got lost forever in its clutches. Story 9. Ketamine. It really messed with you. I was always in pain. It's expensive as was going through 500 milligrams every day at one point, pissing blood and pissing myself. Bad nosebleeds whenever I was in a humid environment. I don't know if it was a side effect of ketamine or other mental issues, but dissociating just all the time when I wasn't on it so badly, it was hard to walk. This is normal when on ketamine, but not when I'm dissoing just from mental illness. I wouldn't recognize myself in the mirror. Ketamine is amazing, but when you can't go a day without it, it's horrible. Story 10. Sugar in coffee. Well, not just coffee, but lattes, iced coffees, etc. I learned the hard way that they easily add an extra 250 to 800 calories per drink. I honestly thought they were 100 to 300 calories max. It's sickening seeing how many people are addicted to Dunkin' Starbucks and get extra sugars added. I switched to black or getting the smallest version of a drink and only allowing it to be 200 max. I've lost so much weight doing this, but I was drinking one a day for about 10 years. I don't even want to know how many calories and grams of sugar I've consumed. Story 11. Drinking, 4 years sober. I just got sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. The drinking wasn't fun anymore, and I was getting into all kinds of trouble, so I reached out to a friend of mine who I knew was sober and asked him how he did it. I didn't go to rehab, but I honestly wouldn't have said no if it were an option. How I got sober was going to meetings every day for the first year. Worked the steps and kept myself occupied with service work and my day job. I'm telling you, all the cliches you're going to hear sound like but it's true. The promises of the program are very real. When I got sober, I was on my ass flat broke living on friends' couches. I now have a car, I have my own home. I'm a partner in my own very successful business and an incredible life. Being aware that everything I've worked hard for can be taken away from me in an instant if I pick up a drink again is both terrifying and a constant motivator to stay sober. It takes balls to face life head on. Keep doing the right things and good things will come. Sorry for the long-winded answer. Takes balls to admit you need help. Keep your chin up and take one day at a time, even if it's minute by minute, second by second. You got this. Story 12. Caffeine. Note, I live in Italy, so our default coffee is the espresso. I'm at a point where caffeine in tea does not accelerate my heart rate, does not wake me up. It's just a hot beverage I can drink with a bit of milk that is cozy. At my worst moment, I was drinking 5 espresso per day. I reduced it to 2/3 a day. But still, it is just something cozy to drink. I cannot stand coffee outside Italy now. And I have lost my healthiest beverage to wake me up. I never asked an expert, but I was like, okay, sometimes just one coffee helps me wake up and have a productive morning. Now the 5th did nothing. The fact that I did nothing on my mind doesn't mean that my body is not accusing this much caffeine. I decided I have a problem to solve when nothing happened when I took a student espresso. NB in Italy, a student espresso is an espresso done with the mocha. Then you use this espresso as water to make another espresso with the mocha. It is really concentrated. And it's called student espresso because it's used by university student to study all night. Story 13. I drink, I smoke. These things I can handle. Legal gambling online I cannot. Drained my savings, maxed out numerous cards 30K limits, and tapped into my retirement. This is a real silent addiction. After several bad nights, 5K or so, I said I'm done, never again. A few nights later I found reasons why I could deposit 100. 100 turns for 2, then 5, then 1,000. I always get to the same conclusion, wake up and want to end it all. Then I realized that if I end it all, my wife and family will realize I'm a loser and hate me. That's worse than anything. I haven't gambled in 5 days. I make $160,000 a year and am worried about paying my bills. I have a 1-year-old and a wife who luckily has not looked at the checking or credit card apps. I live in plain sight, but I'm addicted. It has taken everything from me. I've declined family trips that cost $2,000 but will gamble $2,000 in hours. I've been up $10,000 before but keep playing and end up minus $5,000. More needs to be done about this. I don't think that I am alone. TLDR, I am a loser that gambles everything away and I don't have a pause button. Story 14. Anything. I always have to have at least one thing. Gaming, for decades. Anime manga, I got back into it as an adult because of how nostalgic and comforting it was, because I have good memories of being a teenager and enjoying it so much. Vaping, smoking, I have been on and off for years. I have no problem quitting cold turkey after months or a year straight of smoking or vaping. Sold and smoked all day every day for years in college. Gave it up when I moved back home to get a job. Now it just gives me panic attacks. Alcohol I love, if I don't have anything else. Otherwise I don't use it at all. I was drinking half a fifth of bourbon every morning when I got home from work on my work week. and would start drinking when I woke up in the evening on my off days. I quit because I found Kratom. Kratom has been my thing for years, a lifesaver. It kept me from real drugs or alcohol I drank maybe once every year. It was right down the street too. They just made it illegal in my specific county, so I quit that cold turkey a month and a half ago and realized how much of addiction it really was. I'm still dealing with withdrawal symptoms. Now I'm back to the safe, not safe at all addictions of food. Always binge ate and threw it up as a kid for comfort. I didn't watch or even have with my wife, but a few times a year because of the SSRI I was on. But I got off of it for my wife's sake, and my brain itself all up. Started a few other antidepressants and became hyper, which wasn't a problem in college because of Tinder. But with a wife who I don't get much time with because of work, it was turning back to so now it's gaming, anime, food, and somewhat alcohol again. I have a good job, great wife, and good physical shape and supportive family, but I carry the burden of needing creature comforts that I hate giving into but can't help. Story 15. I would like to say I'm not addicted to anything, but I think that would be a lie. Candy. I've eaten tremendous amounts for 20 years, daily for 10. I should get a job as a candy consultant because of my excessive knowledge. I know what the consumers like, I give awesome recommendations, and also know what's missing on the market right now. Porn. Also, I've never been more disappointed than coming to the US and expecting great candy experiences from this big country. You guys have absolutely nothing on Finland and Sweden, the two big greats in the candy business. Alright folks, that's a wrap. If you like this, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. You can also share your those in the comment below.